3 years. And he'll pitch in front of the home fans at Lindsey Nelson Stadium and try to clinch another series. First pitch, swinging strike to Brock Daniels, who's been the hottest hitter in this Tigers 9. It's the same 9 that Kerrick Jackson goes with here in Game 2, just a little bit different in terms of the shape.
Yeah, Daniels and Austin at the top of the order really sets this lineup. They get it going for everybody else. Again, as we mentioned, a lot of speed. They like to steal bases and put pressure on defense.
Tigers had 9 hits in the Game 1 loss, so they were swinging the bats, but they left 8 on base, no hits with runners in scoring position, a couple of double play balls. Brock Daniels, opposite way to kick things off. Dylan Dreiling floats underneath. He's got it.
Now batting the third baseman, number 19, Trevor Austin.
Turn things over to Trevor Austin, one of the lone veterans in this Missouri lineup. It is a freshman-heavy group. Missouri, of course, in year 1 under Kerrick Jackson. 6-13 in SEC play, really trying to revitalize his team, and it's just nearly a brand new roster. 3 returners in the lineup from last year. But a team that's slowly getting better and better at the plate. See how their approach is in Game 2 after just 1 run last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brand new staff. They're developing a new system. You lost 7 starters roughly out of your lineup from last year. There is going to be some growing pains with that. We've seen it, though, in the month of April, though. They are starting to come alive a little bit on the offensive side and really have been playing their best baseball so far this season.
9-6 record in the month of April. They took a game against LSU last week, took one against Georgia, swept Florida earlier in the month. At the time, the Gators are number 6 in the country. Numbers at the plate better in April. 252 as a team in total. Bottom of the SEC, but hitting 275 in April.
Averaging 7-point runs per game during that span as well.
One of the best in this conference, though. Drew Beam anchors this Tennessee pitching staff.
Win it, Trev, win it, Trev.
55 2/3 innings this season. That ball over to Blake Burke at first. An easy play for out number 2. About a Thursday through Saturday series, it gives you one less day of prep, as Beam typically slotted in those Saturdays. One less day to prepare, but he's a guy that mentality is his big thing. He's not fazed by a whole lot.
Yeah, and the body's ready, too, for it. I mean, you think losing that one day, I mean, these guys know how to rest and recover. You've seen Beam on the second day, the Saturday starts the majority of the season. He's such a good game planner. He sees what happened from the day before, and he really does the prep work on those numbers to get himself ready for that second game.
13 SEC wins for Tennessee after a Game 1 victory last night, coming off a series win, top 5 series win in Lexington against the Wildcats. They have narrowed that gap in the SEC East standings. 1-1 count for Caden Peer, freshman in the 3-hole. That's a hot shot up the middle. First base hit for the Tigers with 2 outs here in the inning.
Yeah, this is Missouri offense has been very good with 2 outs on the season. They have a 296 average coming into today. You can see Caden Peer with a great approach up the middle, and now this is where they can put a little bit of pressure. Peer is 6 for 6 on the season so far in the stolen base department.
Missouri, a team that can run and will run. No stolen bases last night, though. Again, they left 8 on the base paths, 9 hits. Beam's pretty good at picking off runners as well. He's got a pair.
Yeah, and it's tough to run when you get behind, and the numbers back that up. Missouri needs to score early, get on the board. They are 11-3 on the season when they're up after the second inning. They are 5-16 after trailing. What that tells you in the long run, when you get behind, it's hard to steal bases on that. It's hard for them to play the type of offense that they want to play.
Tigers will put in the hands of their leadoff hitter, J.D. Hernandez Jr. out of Trenton, New Jersey. 287 average coming into the weekend. Over to to first. Back in time is Peer. Freshman hopping around with the righty beam. 6 stolen bases for Peer this season. Another check back at first for Beam. Hernandez at the plate, 1 for 4 last night. 10 RBIs in SEC play, leads the way for this Tiger ball club. One of the tougher ABs in this lineup. That breaking ball just missing for Beam. Fastball sitting at around 89 that time. Would have been the cutter there from Drew Beam. 2-1's the count. 17 starts a season ago, 3.63 ERA. It was second year. SEC Freshman of the Year was Drew Beam in 2022. He has been a 3-year starter for Tennessee. That's one thing about him as well. He has had several starts this year where he's given up a lot of hits and has worked purely with runners on. That happened against LSU his last home start. 6 2/3, gave up 8 hits. Hernandez rips this one. That's in the gap. It drops down. Fielded by Tears in right. Peer will get all the way to third and hold up. It's another 2-out base hit for Missouri.
Good swing from Hernandez. Got himself in a hitter's count. We're going to see the fastball out over the plate at 89 miles an hour. Great short swing. First and third. Missouri would love to get on the board here early.
Back-to-back singles from 3 and 4 in the heart of your lineup. Tiger just 1 run yesterday, and it came off a solo home run from Danny Corona. Again, they did not have a single hit with runners in scoring position. This is a great way to rewrite that notion here in Game 2. It's a good thing about baseball. It's a brand new day each time you hit the park.
That's the old saying, you're only as good as your starting pitcher. You know, you can put a lot of pressure on that other guy here early on. You can make his day very difficult.
2 on, 190 feet away for Matt Garcia. Second baseman stands in for the first time. Hopper down the first baseline and foul. Blake Burke was there. Garcia, a 5th year out of Orlando, Florida, in a big spot. 30-plus starts this season. 1 for 4 last night, but he has been lights out the team's last 2 SEC series. Followed what was a slow start to conference play, but has really torched of recent. 10 hits, 6 RBIs against Georgia and LSU combined. Battle back down 1-2. That's the fastball, 93 from Drew Beam. Tennessee ace looking to work out of some trouble early here in the first. Got him looking. Drew Beam slams the door shut. Leads this Missouri team in strikeouts this year in conference play, and of course he's got this beast of a lineup to deal with. At top 4, extremely dangerous. Christian Moore homered in the leadoff spot yesterday. Billy Amick, multi-home run game yesterday.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. How do you control these top 4? These guys have hit 20 home runs combined over their last 8 games.
SEC Player of the Week, Christian Moore, is just such a tough way to start any ball game. It has been almost impossible to get him out, but Lunsford might just have him here to start the inning. That's a fly ball, and Moore is retired. He went 3 for 4 last night. He'll start bottom of the first with an out.
Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Blake Burke.
Lunsford's looking to bounce back from his last start. It came last Friday against LSU, 2 2/3 innings. Got chased out after allowing 8 runs. Tigers team that got that Friday night win in that series. First look at Blake Burke, junior out of Brentwood, California. 0 for 5 yesterday. It snapped a 31-game hit streak that he was working on. That is the longest in Tennessee program history. I feel like all good things eventually do have to come to an end.
Yeah, and it takes a little bit of pressure off of you. He can say what he wants to say. You're thinking about that hit streak as it goes on. You get to relax from that now. You get to step back away and go back to playing how you want to play. But it is fun during that 31 stretch, I'm sure.
It's 17 multi-hit games in that stretch as well, and it wasn't just a single here, single there. Blake Burke obviously second in Tennessee program history in home runs, just right behind his counterpart Christian Moore. A guy that can put up loud numbers and has done so this year. Fantastic junior season.
Yeah, and Andy, what's impressive about that hit streak, guy that held it before him, Condridge Holloway, all-time athlete in SEC history, talking about starting quarterback, starting shortstop. Blake Burke, little different. He's not legging out in infield singles. Like, there was not a lot of cheapies during that 28-game stretch.
Burke goes down swinging here in his first AB of game 2. Lunsford's gone 2 up, 2 down to start.
Yeah, good start for Lunsford so far. Here's the fastball we're talking about, 92. It's got some run. It plays a little bit above the barrel when he elevates in the zone. He gets a swing and miss from Burke.
Moore and Burke retired, and that leads into Billy Amick. The claps are on here at Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Amick, junior out of South Carolina, 2 home runs last night, wastes no time as he deposits the single in the left. In Tennessee, 10 hits as a team last night, 6 of them were home runs. I mean, what do you do if you're Missouri coming off a game in which it felt like, we're making good pitches as Tennessee was capitalizing on situations. It's just a hard recipe to combat, is it not?
Yeah, I think you just go back and you see what you did, and you see, like, okay, quality pitch, guy made a good swing, you tip your cap. You just want to look and see where you were missing and making your mistakes. And if you didn't make a lot and they did it, so be it. You can live with that. If you weren't executing the way you wanted to, that's when the adjustments are needed.
Kamari's tears on the 1-0 pitch. That's on the ground. Matt Garcia over to first, and a solid inning to start for Logan. Set that culture down, and again, they're getting better as the season goes on.
Yeah, it's a tough thing early on. You replace a brand new staff on top of brand new players. It takes some time to gel, and you are seeing that a little bit. Dealt a tough schedule early on. You get Arkansas and Vanderbilt in SEC play. I mean, that's really good staffs with good arms. As we mentioned earlier, April, they've started playing a lot better. The offense production is starting to show up a little bit more, and they've been more competitive.
10-win team in SEC play last year that returns just 3 starters again. You almost have to manufacture a brand new lineup, and we've seen that. This Missouri team has churned out some different lineups in SEC, play 16 different guys with the conference start. And again, it's not just something that happens overnight when you're trying to rebuild a program, but Kerr Jackson has brought in good guys with his staff as well. Former Missouri head coach Tim Jamison with the staff. Mateo Serna will take first base. That pitch runs inside to start things off for the visiting Tigers here in the second.
Yeah, Kerr Jackson brought Jabari Brown with him, a guy that came from Vanderbilt, so he has experience here in SEC play. Another assistant coach in Bryson LeBlanc, who played here at Missouri in the heyday, a guy that has a ton of experience out on the West Coast in coaching as well.
Well, they use the phrase Mizzou now, and that now stands for no opportunity wasted. They're very present with where they are now, really working on taking every opportunity in stride, as that is a beautiful looking bunt. It's going to veer just foul. Good patience for Cal Stark down the line.
Yeah, you got a really good look in that situation. Cal Stark, your catcher being the field general, knew that it was a very good bunt from Lovich. Best bet was to let it go foul because you weren't going to pick it up and throw him out anyway.
That's part of understanding your home ballpark as well.
Very heads-up play.
Cal Stark, his second start this weekend back behind the dish, catching the balls in strikes. Hit a 3-run home run last night. 1 is the count for Jackson Lovich. Has to make the long walk back to home. Did not bite on the curve. Lovich, a sophomore, 281 hitter, 7 home runs, 24 RBIs. Good numbers. Team leader in average, second in RBIs. Lineup for this Tigers team. Freshman getting starts in SEC play. Just trying to find that right combination. Same 9 as last night, Coach Jackson. Lovich fouls this one off his own leg. Now, what's the message after a game 1 where you got hits, you weren't swinging a bad bat, but you weren't capitalizing when you had opportunities with runners on? What's the message going into a game 2?
Like you said, you go back at it tomorrow, you put yourself in successful situations, right? The pressure is on the pitching staff. It's on the defense. Sometimes as hitter, we get a little bit bogged down about, like, I need to do this for my team or whatever. You got to kind of flush that mentality. Go back, small thought process, be aware of the situation, and just let the rest of it take care of itself.
Lovich battling with Drew Beam, fouls off another fastball. That counts still 1-2. This one ripped into right, Tears on the run, he dives, he makes the play, throw to first, that's 2! My goodness, what an effort out in right.
Great at bat from Lovich, stays in on a pitch, smoked out to right. Tears, great jump, great slide. Now you're about to see that elite arm, an absolute hand cannon from right field to first base.
That's been the scout on Kavares Tears. He's got himself an arm out in right, and Mateo Serna got on the other end of that throw. Credit Blake Burke with the scoop as well. That is not your typical double play.
No, and it was bad luck for Serna. I mean, honestly, it was a good read. I mean, Tears just made a better play on the jump, because if you don't get that break and he scoops it, he's going to come up throwing to second as well. So you got to be aware of the situation. Very good play from Kavares Tears.
Twice the Tigers hit into the double play ball. We weren't expecting a hard line drive to come back to bite them like that. Good defense from the Volunteers. Now 2 outs here, top of the second. Drew Culbertson, a freshman up. I feel like you get a play like that, all you can do is tip your cap.
It was a really good at bat. I mean, Beam was living on the inside part of the plate for Lovich. Lovich kept that inside out approach with 2 strikes. And again, another quality swing. More bad luck than anything if you're Missouri.
1 on for Culbertson. 16 starts in SEC play in his freshman year. No hits last night. Beam, we talked about, pitch to contact is how he generally lives. Good to know you have guys behind you like that making plays. 3-2 pitch home. That ball's in the air. Center fielder is Hunter Inslee for Tennessee. He camps underneath it. That's out number 3. Drew Beam faces the minimum. Big-time defense from.
They wanted to build around bats and offense. The pitching's been no snub. Like, you know, some people have given it a hard time. It's a top 15 team in the country in the ERA. That's how good their staff has been in previous years.
And 74 SEC wins since 2021. That's the most in the league. And you talk about how good the SEC is, all the champions they've had of recent. 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the top 25, all from the SEC. To be consistent in a league that is this competitive, it's so hard.
All you need to go look at is the 7 years prior to Tony Vitello taking over this program. Look how Tennessee was doing before that. it's very, very impressive the turnaround they had in such a quick amount of time.
4-pitch walk to Dylan Dreiling and a leadoff base runner for Tennessee. Of course, Tony Vitello, every time he faces Missouri, it's a bit personal. Obviously, a player at Missouri from 2000-2002, served as an assistant coach, recruiting coordinator for many years with the Tigers under Tim Jamison, who's across the way. Obviously has a great relationship with that staff, great words of admiration for that group and what they're starting to do in Columbia. St. Louis native is Tony Vitello, who has now come to Knoxville, found this home, but always an intriguing battle for him to play his alma mater.
Yeah, you probably don't say it a lot, but I'd say this was a weekend that he was looking forward to. Seeing this staff, has a great relationship with Carrick Jackson. Talked about it, him and his father has a very good relationship. Tim Jamison, obviously been around him for a long time. This is a group of individuals who are very well connected, even outside of the baseball field.
Tony Vitello and Coach Tim Jamison look toward several great Tigers throughout the years, as Curley might have just put himself in double play territory. The Tigers turn it.
Yeah, Lunsford's done a very good job mixing Madsen pitches right here. You see the off-speed pitch is 71 miles an hour. He gets the ground ball, and then it goes to Culvertson, to Garcia, to Corona for the 6-4-3 double play.
Tiger infield going to work. 2 down now. Double play's contagious here in the second inning. Hunter Inslee now stands in with bases empty all of a sudden. Inslee fouls this one off. Inslee 1 for 3.
To a little bit of a slow start early on. The bat is starting to come alive, and it's a very dangerous situation for everybody else when this part of the lineup starts swinging the bat.
Yeah, top to bottom, it's one thing you have a guy, SEC Player of the Week, 2 program leaders and home runs hurt you, but when you get the bottom of the order churning, this Volunteer team is tough to beat. Inslee certainly has that pop in his bat. That was his 6th home run of the season. Average sitting at 250 was a big part of the team's Omaha run last year. Will go down swinging as Lance Lunsford, 2 scoreless frames to start here in Knoxville.
It takes time, but it is starting to show up a little bit. They've had great approaches at the plate. They've had runners on base. You just start stringing it together, and eventually it all kind of flows out on its own.
This team has also been a lot better on the road as well. I mean, you look at their first 2 road series in SEC play, 3 runs combined. As Danny Corona, he has been hot recently. That is a sharp line drive, deep center. Tested Hunter Inslee, but he likes it out number 1. Missouri, their first 2 road SEC series at Arkansas, at Vanderbilt, 3 total runs in 6 games. Talk about an improvement. You go to Georgia 2 weeks ago, you get 23 total team runs, and you stole a Saturday win in Athens.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough stretch. And we just mentioned it. Really good pitching staffs, and the pitching's going to have an advantage early on. So you got some guys. You got a lot of freshmen playing right now. They're starting to get settled in and how the conference works and how these at-bats needs to happen. And again, that's why the production is starting to move up. Guys are starting to get comfortable with their roles.
Brock Daniels has been one of those surprises when you have a new lineup, like Missouri does, mixing pieces in non-conference to get into SEC play. Sometimes you don't know who's going to spark. Brock Daniels has been that April spark for Missouri. Fouls this one off. 1-1 will be his count with Drew Beam. But Daniels has been fantastic in a small sample size still. You see the numbers in April, 379, 21 RBIs. And again on the season, Cody, he just has 74 at-bats.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I mean, 313 on top of that over the last 8 games. And you can see, man, a really tough out. He really battles from the left side of the plate. Prototypical top of the lineup type of guy that can run and can really work counts.
Did not have a hit in game 1 last night. 26 RBIs, second best on this Missouri team. 1-2, chops it over to third. Billy Amick across the diamond, got him.
Beam has really attacked Daniels on the outer part of the plate. We've seen a lot of fastballs on that outside corner, so obviously they got something on that scouting report, and he's executing with it.
Drew Beam just getting settled in. He's second in the conference in innings pitched. Doesn't walk a lot of batters, just 12 on the season. Very consistent, 8th in earned run average as well. Big reason why he's projected a potential first rounder.
Yeah, I mean, his production here at Tennessee has been off the charts. I mean, a guy that was in the back end of this bullpen the first couple of years, all he's done is won baseball games for this team. But you look at the body and you look at the frame. You know, the metrics are a little bit down from a guy that you would see that would be in the first round. But you're looking at a guy that pitches more off of a two-seam. His ball more down in the zone. He's going to get people to swing over top of it. When he gets himself in trouble from time to time, he tends to elevate.
Pitched 4 1/3, gave up 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts last week against Kentucky, a good Wildcat crew. Quality starts against LSU and Auburn. And again against LSU this time 2 weeks ago, was living with guys on base and really thrived in that scenario. Got out of jams, made it work. 6 strong innings. And that's a backwards punch out again.
The 8 team that averaged 10-point runs per game.
And 10 runs last night, 6 came off of home runs. They didn't even have a double. 6 home runs, no doubles, and 4 singles. Just a typical box score, Tennessee baseball this season. And it's not just power. You know, Tony Vitello commented about that at the end of last night's game. It's several different ways they can hurt you. I like the approach of a lot of his guys. What you do when you come to Tennessee is give a Josh Elander hitting coach. Dalton Bargo in his first year as a volunteer actually transferred from Missouri last season, so he is on the other side of this matchup. Tigers' primary DH started 45 games as a freshman last year.
Yeah, Bargo was the number 41 prospect out of the transfer portal by D1 Baseball. It's a guy that's played, you know, a key role for Tennessee when he's been healthy. He's had a couple stints. He missed a good bit of the year with a hamstring injury. He's came in, and he's been a pivotal part in the DH spot for him.
Big part of Missouri's sweep against Tennessee in Columbia last year. Go in foul territory, that's out of play. He went 4 for 10, had 4 RBIs and a home run last year. This is what Tennessee collected out of the portal. Obviously, a lot of names we've already seen this series. Amick hit 2 home runs last night. Kazi got the win.
Yeah, and then you'll see Snead here at some point. We've seen Stamos has started the game yesterday as well. I mean, they've really put these portal parts into play and been very successful with this group of guys they brought in.
It is the day of the transfer portal in college athletics. Tony Vitello says he's very meticulous with it, though. Put out a satellite and see who fits his style of play. He's created quite the culture here in Knoxville, but the guys that they brought in have meshed beautifully. Bargo is battling against his former teammate Logan Lunsford. The shift is on to the right side. 3-2 again. Bargo goes the right side, but deep, just foul.
Talk about Bargo last year against Tennessee, was in the middle of the lineup for Missouri as a freshman, and the opening weekend did not look like a freshman. Had some quality at bats against Chase Dolander, who was a first-round draft pick for Tennessee last year, and was in the middle of the order for Missouri most of the season.
Yeah, a series Tennessee wants to forget, and one that Missouri will hold on to. A sweep that started SEC play season ago as Bargo sky high down the right field line. Garcia ranges over and makes the catch. That's difficult.
Yeah, that foul ball had hang time like an NFL punt. It was up there forever. kind of trickle back into play. Good job by Garcia getting everybody else out of the way and making it look easy. But yeah, that opening weekend for Missouri last year, I think it kind of shocked everybody. You heard about Tennessee and the moves they made in the transfer portal, and Missouri just came in and just bopped them in the mouth at the beginning.
Kyle Stark unsuccessfully gets the bunt down. Yeah, history has shown that Missouri has been pretty good in this series of late. They lead the overall series, 17 wins, 14. The series was even last night when played at Knoxville, 8 wins to 8 losses, but Tigers have won 3 of the last 5 series here at Knoxville.
Tennessee leads the last 10 meetings at 6-4. But I mean, Missouri's been a very good baseball program over its history. Went through a little bit of a lull of some struggles, and that's why you see Coach Jackson here right now, and he wants to bring them back to prominence that they once were.
The different conditions than it was last year in Columbia. That series in Missouri mid-March, about 30 degrees the whole way through.
Speaking of that, I got a fun fact for you.
Let's hear it.
Ready for it?
Ready.
Missouri has not played a game this year where the temperature has been 80 degrees or above on the season.
I believe it. They can tomorrow. Maybe. 79 is the high, so no. Not doing it tonight. A bit cloudy. And that is the reality, though, of a lot of these teams that are a bit more north. You're going to have to endure some cold weather in the early going. It's not necessarily warm here tonight in Knoxville. Got some blankets out. I feel like it's rare for late April. Sweatshirt in the lap.
Definitely on the chillier side today. Had a lot of rain this morning, kind of unexpected. On top of it, turf field doesn't affect it. Hasn't affected Logan Lunsford so far, that's for sure. This off speed has been working. On fire, those 3 home runs moved him ahead. Leads Tennessee in all-time home runs. And Andy, I don't think he's going to be done by the end of this season.
No, 47 career home runs and climbing. He is 3 now above Blake Burke. Big thanks to that 3 home run game. Very deservedly was National Player of the Week as well for just an incredible series against number 3 Kentucky at the time. Tennessee and Kentucky flip-flopping 3 and 4 in the rankings this week. The numbers are outstanding. 424 in conference play, 14 home runs, 29 RBIs. That all leads the SEC in conference play. Is the count. 2 outs in the inning. Christian Moore will take a walk this time. That's one thing that came back to bite the Tigers a little bit last night. 7 walks as a pitching staff. With how much power this Tennessee team does have, it's hard to give them too many free passes and they won't capitalize on them.
Yeah, it's tough to lose when you give up a couple of solo home runs, but when you start mixing walks in and those solos start turning into 2- and 3-run homers, it can add up very quickly, especially with this lineup.
See if Moore's walk can start a 2-out rally for Tennessee. Blake Burke. Hit streak was snapped last night, struck out back in the first. Preseason All-American will start down 0-2. It has been just a fantastic year for Burke. .396 hitter, 14 home runs, 38 RBIs. He's been able to get on base more than he ever has in his career as well. That's something we've seen a lot. Again, the power numbers are huge, but Josh Elander does a good job, and the team internally does a good job of working on just their approach.
Yeah, a lot of maturity from Burke this season. You can see 2 strikes. He's really widened out. He shortens the stride. He snaps his bat in half.
Wow.
Foul ball. Look
out. His bat completely broke in half. The barrel went all the way to right field. I have never seen that. And applause from the home crowd. I mean, talk about swinging the bat hard and a jam. This is it.
Yeah, fastball inside part of the play. That's 92 miles an hour. Got in on him a little bit. And like you said, it's a rare occurrence to see the metal bats break. But you can see right there, that Louisville slugger that he had, it has a connecting point, and that's right where it broke at. That's,
wow.
The handle and the barrel is two different things, and that's right where it snapped at. Now he's switching to a one-piece alloy bat.
What else can Blake Burke do? He has officially snapped the bat in half.
So that two-piece bat that broke, it has got more of like that thud, like the dull sound. This one piece in his hand is way more like your typical college baseball bat with the ping.
How much of a difference, though, will this make for Blake Burke, switching bats mid-game?
The biggest change between them is the feel. Obviously, like if he's swinging a 33-inch bat, it weighs 30 ounces. The thing is the two pieces composite bats, they are more end heavy. This bat is more neutral, right? It is more of a balanced feel.
Burke can't catch that off speed. Lunsford retires games if they want to make postseason.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if you look at implications on both sides, Tennessee keeps winning. Their national ranking goes up. They get to host at home. Tennessee is very good at home when they play. Missouri, all these games matter because they're right on the bubble of making the SEC tournament. The best 12 teams of the conference get to go. Missouri sitting there at that 11 and 12 spot. They do hold the tiebreaker over Florida if it gets to it. The thing that scares them is they do not against LSU, and LSU is that next team in. So Missouri needs to be very good from here on out against Tennessee, South Carolina, Auburn, and Mississippi State to finish out their conference play.
Yeah, it's LSU and Auburn right now left out of Hoover. Missouri sitting at 6 conference wins, a team that hasn't won over 10 SEC games since 2019. Kerry Jackson trying to get his bunch to Hoover in year 1 would be a great accomplishment for a team that's in a bit of a rebuilding year. You can call it. It can always say something's a rebuilding year, but the resources in the portal, you can get good pretty fast. Drew Beam, fast start here to the 4th.
Yeah, and if you're Missouri, I mean, you're playing to get in the tournament. I mean, they're currently sitting, 6 and 13 in conference play, 19 and 24 overall, an RPI of 91. They are going to have to get in and make some noise in that. They're going to have to win the SEC tournament to advance in the postseason.
JD Hernandez back in, no one on and one down. He singled back in the first. Tigers had runners on the corners with 2 outs back in the first inning. Left 2 on the pond. Early opportunity as they got to Beam, but the Tennessee ace has settled in nicely. To Hernandez outside, so Beam behind in the count 3-0. What have you seen from Drew Beam so far? Again, labored maybe a bit in the first, but it's been very consistent since then.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that pitches to contact. He's missed a couple of times up into the zone. Tears has bailed him out with a really good play there, but a guy that keeps the ball down. He gets a lot of ground balls, and he has the ability to bear down and get the punch out when he does need it with those runners on base.
Tennessee has mixed up their pitching rotation, and particularly on that game 1 for a lot of this season. We saw a great performance from Chris Stamos to start, solid 2 2/3 innings. Then A.J. Causey came in and nearly finished the job. Matthew Dallas got the final out, but A.J. Causey 6 extremely strong innings on 90 pitches. We'll speak with him later on, but he has gotten back in a nice groove, not as a starter now, but almost, just coming out of the bullpen with Stamos being the opener.
Yeah, I mean, his arm slot fits better for the bullpen, and this is what happened. He was good early in the season, and that he was following Russell and things like that. These teams, when he got into conference play, they were loading every lefty they could in the lineup. If the bat boy was left-handed, he was getting in the lineup, and that arm slot is very difficult for Causey. Now they've started with Stamos, and now they can't load all those lefties in there. So he's getting to see a lot of righties when he comes into the game, and he's very effective in those situations.
Count 0-2 to Matt Garcia. That's strike 3 looking. Another punch up for Drew Beam. That's number 4.
Yeah, and Garcia's got the same treatment as Daniels. Beam is living low and away with that fastball. And like I said, it plays better down in the zone. He throws a sinker, he throws a four-seam, so he can make it ride a little bit longer, or he can make it fall out of the zone, just depending on grip.
Mateo Serna back in, was hit by a pitch to lead off the second inning. He rockets one up the middle. That's a base hit. Third hit for Missouri. 2 aboard with 2 outs now.
And I think that's the game plan against Beam right here. What you saw from Serna, he is going to be around the plate with every pitch. I think you've got to go up there and be aggressive. He's going to throw a lot of strikes. He's not going to walk people. You want to go up, and you know you're going to get something to hit. You just got to have the discipline to stay up the middle and not try to do too much with it.
Serna's been playing great baseball for Missouri. 2 for 4 with a double last night. That was a second straight multi-hit effort. He's now aboard both plate appearances here today, now 1 for 1.
Yeah, over his last 8 games, Serna is batting .500 with 2 home runs during that stretch. He is 5 for 10 in his last 8 games.
This is just start number 6 for him in his young Missouri career, freshman. And he is playing good for the Tigers right here. Big chance for Jackson Lovich to give Missouri their first lead of the weekend. No hits with runners in scoring position yesterday. 0 for 1 in game 2. That's fouled away. Lovich 0 for 1. He got a hit last night in game 1. Again, this might be, if you're Missouri, who you want up. Team leader in average, second in RBIs. Good production in terms of the whole season outlook.
Yep, hits .314 with 2 outs as well. So another guy that's productive in crunch situations.
Beam just misses that fastball outside. Beam with 4 strikeouts, 3 of them have been catching batters looking. At 1-2, that is going to drop into right field. Tears, he's got a strong arm, will throw it in and hold everyone. So the Tigers will load the bases, but rightly elect not to test Tears.
Yeah, and you're going to see almost the same swing from Lovich right here. Got the 2 strikes. Good approach to think more middle away. This ball got in a little bit more on him, and that's why it flared out. There's no way you're going to test that arm. It was too shallow for Tears with a run and start. I mean, unless he bobbled it. That's it. It's pretty much on the money from that distance.
Tears keeps him put, but now everyone advancing. That's the first hit this weekend for Missouri with a runner in scoring position, but it does not cash in a run. Bases loaded opportunity now for Drew Culbertson. The freshman will try to give the Tigers a lead here in game 2. 208 hitter, 3 RBIs and 1 home run on the year. 0 for 1 tonight. No hits in game 1 last night.
Yeah, Culbertson on the year only has
season lived on the edge with runners on and has done a good job of escaping jams. Culbertson fouls that one off. 1-1 count. A.J. Causey looking on. Winning pitcher will talk to him here in the bottom of the 4th as he tries to see if Drew Beam can get out of this jam. One outside. Start to first. He got him. Inning over. Pitcher from last night, A.J. Causey. A.J., welcome, and a good game last night.
Thank you, thank you.
A.J., talk about, just what you saw. I know you're getting in this nice little groove of Chris Damos where he opens the game up, you follow after him. How do you like that that situation you have going on and what you see last night?
I like it, and obviously it's working. It's really comfortable when you see, Stom go out and do as well as he does. It really gives me some confidence to know I can do the same. So, yeah, it makes me feel really good.
Hey, AJ, let's talk a little bit about that arm slot. Have you always been from like that 3/4 to sidearm slot, or is this something that you developed later on?
I started when I was 13. My travel coach told me, he was like, you don't really throw as hard as, and I was playing with Beam at the time. He was like, you don't really throw as hard as the guys like Beam. He was like, you should try this. I know you play a lot of wolf ball. He's like, you should try it, you'd be good at it, and I tried it, fell in love with it. So, yeah.
Well, it seemed to work out well, and that changeup is kind of like a wiffle ball pitch. Talk to us a little bit about that. Have you always had the same grip? Who helped you develop that pitch?
Honestly, I don't really know how I got it. It was just the same changeup grip I had when I started throwing a changeup, and I just started really trying to pronate it. That's about all I try to do.
You talking about playing travel ball with Drew Beam. Do you have any crazy story about Beam growing up? Anything that y'all got into?
Not really. The one I really remember was when we were playing up on the older team, me and him, and we just got to stay in the same house, and we just had a lot of fun in the house. That's all we did. We were like quarantined to the house because we were the two young kids, so we couldn't go out and do anything.
How crazy is it now that you are both at this level and you're pitching on a typical Friday night, Thursday last night, and then you get to kind of give him some info going into game 2?
It's awesome. It is crazy. Like, never would have dreamed about it. It's really cool.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit, too. Making the move from Jacksonville State last year here to Knoxville, how's it been? What's that change been like for you?
It's been awesome. Like, it's a completely different ball game. When it comes to the resources, the people that you have on the supporting staff, it's game changing. It's amazing.
Hey, one more for you, AJ. You see a play that Cal Stark made to close that inning. You saw a play that Kavaris made. Talk about this defense, being behind you, maybe your relationship with Cal Stark, and just really all these catchers and how it makes it easy for you out there.
It makes it so much easier knowing if you get in a little bit of jam, your defense can just bail you out, whether it's with that insane double play or that back pick right there. It's a great feeling.
AJ, congratulations on the win last night. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, AJ. We appreciate it, buddy.
Of course.
All right, that's Tennessee pitcher AJ Kazi. He got the win last night. Volunteers took game 1, 6 strong innings, and now he's cheering on his former travel ball teammate, Drew Beam. How cool is that?
So it's got to be an awesome feeling, to grow up with a guy and to be there, and then go through separate paths in college to be reunited again. I mean, it's got to be an incredible feeling.
He has settled nicely into that role of following Chris Stamos. It's something where Tony Vitale, when asked about, he's like, he's going to pitch 70 to 90 pitches, meaningful innings at some point on that Friday, like he was doing with A.J. Russell to begin with. Things weren't going well there for a minute. Took a few lashes, but has now settled in, and it doesn't feel like anything that Tony Vitale is in a rush to change at this point.
Yeah, and it's such a unique look. I mean, you see him, the guy's somebody's going to take a chance on him at the next level just because there's not many arm slots like that. I've mentioned this before, like I see him pitch and he kind of reminds me of a Lewis Coleman from LSU from back in my time. Ball moves a ton across the plate. It's an uncomfortable bat if you're a right-handed hitter.
Tears in the air. Close to the warning track, but the play is made by Lovich and Wright.
Now batting the left fielder, number 8, Dylan Riley.
Tony Vitale talks about, if you're a starter in this league, you're going to take some bumps and bruises eventually. There's just too many good teams in the SEC to not get knocked down a bit, but he quoted Marshawn Lynch about getting got. Eventually you're going to get back and learn from those times where you were touched up a bit.
We could all learn a lot from the philosophies of Marshawn Lynch. That's
wise man. Kazi certainly has handled the pressures of being a first-year SEC guy, especially kicking off a series. No easy job. Set Tennessee up good here this weekend. Right now, we've got a close one in Knoxville. It felt like Tennessee domination right from the start, game 1 yesterday, but Logan Lunsford has kept the Tigers in the hunt here. Pitching really well through 3 2/3. Dreiling off the knob of the bat. Wicked roller. He beats out the throw.
Yeah, and this is where Lunsford's been successful. I mean, it's a 2-1 count for Dreiling. Here's a changeup at 76. Ball has so much spin when it comes off this turf. And even in your glove, when you go to gather, it's still rattling around a little bit. Dreiling is a good runner. This is going to be a very tough play for Austin to take this.
And the shift was on. Austin was in an island all by himself on the left side. And Dreiling hustled down the line. It's going to go as a infield single for Dylan Dreiling. Just a volunteer second hit of this game. Curley trying to make it back-to-back base hits. He does. Drops it into right. Dreiling heading for third. Curley second. 2 in scoring position.
That's very heads-up base running from a freshman shortstop. Fastball at 91 on the inside part of the plate. He shoots the ball down the right field line. He reads the throw from Lovich that comes in, that oversells second base, and now he moves himself into scoring situation.
That's a freshman right there, dropping it in with 2 outs. Back-to-back singles for a Tennessee offense that hasn't gotten in a groove yet in game 2. And a big 2-out RBI chance for Hunter Inslee. Made an impact at the plate last night, a home run. His 6th of the year. That ball gets to the backstop. Here comes Dreiling. Tennessee strikes first.
Yeah, it's a curveball that gets held on a little bit too much from Lunsford. Skips in from Hernandez. And like you said, this is the speed of Tennessee. Everybody wants to talk about the power. There's a lot of athleticism in this lineup. They can run a little bit too. They just choose not to because they can hit the ball out of the yard.
Dreiling is in. Curley at third now. Amick and Tears were retired in order for the first 2 outs. And the Volunteers, they did it with the home run ball in game 1. Pair of singles and good base running. They've capitalized here in the 4th.
Yeah, I'm curious if there was a little confusion right there. Hernandez looked a little uncomfortable on that wild pitch there a second ago, and you saw him go through the signs a couple of times. So I wonder if there was a little miscue.
Counts 3-1 for Hunter Inslee. Inslee rocketed into left. It's an RBI. Tennessee with 2 runs in the inning now, and he's going to leg out a double.
Yeah, really good job from Inslee. Gets himself in a hitter situation. It forces Lunsford to have to challenge him with a fastball. He gets a pitch out that he can handle, barrel out in front. Good base running on both ends. He moves himself into scoring position, puts Tennessee
on. The former Missouri Tiger, still an RBI threat. Bargo no hits against Kentucky last weekend, none against LSU, 0 for 1 last night. He's seen SEC starts as Tennessee's DH and right field. Tony Vitello still has plenty of pieces in the lineup to mix and match, ride the hot hand. Hunter Inslee starting to get hot at the plate. Dalton Bargo, one of those pieces you're going to see rotate in the outfield and at DH throughout the season.
Yeah, Missouri's playing a huge shift on Bargo as well. I mean, Garcia is pretty much playing a shallow right field. Culbertson's moving himself into some situations where a second baseman would be in double play depth.
Pulled over first base way, rushing forward. Step on his own bag is Corona, and that's the inning. Play from home. Got Jackson Lovich caught in no man's land in between first and second, so Drew Culbertson will now step back in. Fresh count. Quick 0-2 start. And Beam just seems to thrive in those pressure situations. That's what you get with a veteran starter with as many starts as he has in his Tennessee career. And they call him QB1, a quarterback in high school. Was asked a lot as a freshman to be a Sunday starter in the SEC and handled it well. SEC Freshman of the Year. Another strikeout looking. Culbertson goes down.
That's one more K for Queso.
Yeah, really good pitch again. He's attacking the outer part of the plate. This is the changeup at 85 miles an hour. You can see it had some arm side run. Started a little bit off, crept back across, gets another punch out.
So Drew Beam coming into this start was second in SEC games with 14 batters struck out looking, and he now has 4 in this start, so that's 18. Is there anything to that, being able to strike a batter out without a swing?
Yeah, I mean, location, like change up right there. Anytime that you can work a ball out off the plate and bring it back, he can run it up to 95, but he relies more on movement, right? Think more Greg Maddox. Think about how he got his punch outs. It wasn't necessarily attack. It was start a ball a couple inches off and move it back, and Drew Beam kind of follows in the same line. He's not throwing fastballs by everybody. He's working pitches off the plate.
Danny Corona, high fly ball into left center, takes a big run from Hunter Ensley, who's got it near the wall.
Now batting the left fielder for 5, Brock.
Ensley covers a ton of ground. The defense has been really good behind Drew Beam. I feel like Beam, you know he's pitched to contact, you know his character, he's been around the program, a team leader. That can hype a defense up, can it not?
Oh yeah, it makes it easy to play behind. Nothing gets stale back there. You know he's going to be around the plate. You know that there's going to be baseballs put into play, so it keeps you on your toes, and it gives you a rhythm. That's the thing, is you get a guy that gets a ton of punch outs. It's easy for your mind to start wondering. You know, you try to be locked in from pitch to pitch, but it gets difficult. Beam's the opposite. Like, you're almost anticipating the ball to be hit to you.
Brock Daniels back in. He's 0 for 2. And he's looking for his first hit of this series. He's been best hitter for the Tigers in the month of April. Hope to make his mark on this series. Fouls off another. 1-2's the count. We'll talk with head coach Carrick Jackson next half inning. This Tigers team within 2. The feeling has to be this team has moved in a better direction in game 2 compared to last night. As Daniels sends one high up, Cal Stark makes the play. And that's the inning. We'll talk with Coach Jackson on the other end. The play, we welcome in and say hello to Carrick Jackson. Coach, thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Fill us in on coming off of a game 1 last night, 10-1. What do you tell your team coming in to a new day of baseball?
It's a new day, and we got to compete. And what happened yesterday and has no bearing on today unless we allow it to. We've come out early. We came out good, but then we've had some self-inflicted wounds and gave them 2 runs, and you can't do that when you're playing good teams. You got to play fundamentally sound baseball, and that's all we ask our guys to do. Don't worry about what the result of it is going to be. Just play a clean game.
Hey, Coach, your all's averages went up to 271 in April. You guys are averaging 7-point runs per game. What's happened during that stretch for you guys?
I think they've just finally understood what it is that we've been asking them to do and not been so focused on producing, but more focused on the process and being consistent with the process. And that's what we told them is going to equal the results that they're looking for.
Hey, you were an agent for the Boris Corporation for a couple of years. How has that helped you in your role as head coach right now in recruiting players?
I think it's just the idea more of being able to give guys that have pro opportunities a different perspective. Because I also spent time as a Midwest area scout supervisor for the Nationals, so being on both sides of that can talk to them about what teams are looking for, and more importantly, when they're going through the process of picking out an advisor, making sure they're picking the right one based on the things that are important and that they need to make the decision off of.
Hey, Coach, appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, MIZ.
Coach.
That's first-year head coach Kerrick Jackson as he leads his Tiger group here in this weekend set in Knoxville. His starter, Logan Lunsford, grabs the first out of the inning. Christian Moore drops in a base hit, had 3 of them last night. And he continues to rake. Coach Jackson said it has to be frustrating. Game plan has been good for Missouri in game 2, but then you just have a few mistakes, a pitch to the backstop, maybe a bobble out in left field to throw in, and causes 2 runs to score. Look out, Blake Burke. New bat and all, sharp line drive right field way.
Yeah, so the bat he's got now is the new version of the bat that broke.
Okay.
So
he's
just
back to the old style.
Yeah, this is this year's model. What he was swinging was a model from a year ago, 2 years ago, somewhere in that area.
But it's not the bat that broke in half. No. That one's done.
It is not. That is the Louisville Slugger Meta Power.
Burke is 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, looking for his first hit on the weekend.
Now, that's a lot of fun, though, hearing Coach Jackson talk. I mean, 1, very down to earth, and then 2, man, it'd be tough to sit, he's sitting in your room recruiting you. The pitch that he has about not only how he's going to develop you, but how to prepare you for the future, it'd be tough to pass up on. A wealth of knowledge from what all he's done before he was even here at Missouri.
Yeah, absolutely. And the things he did at Memphis prior, first winning record for the Tigers the last 6 seasons, took Southern to a SWAC title in 2019. You're right, he's been through just about every baseball position, just a baseball guy through and through. It's going to pay dividends. Again, it's a process. Go back to Tony Vitel's first year at Tennessee, and things were not easy. Didn't make a regional. We were fighting and clawing in every SEC series.
And you can see the resume. I mean, it's very impressive. And, that's the thing we talked about. He's been a scout, been an agent, been the president of that developmental league. Like, he has seen all sides of the baseball, not only from the college standpoint, but from the pro standpoint.
Christian Moore is sat down at second. Blake Burke beats out a double play attempt. So 2 down now. 1 on for Billy Amick. Amick is 1 for 2, a single back in the first. Two home runs in last night's win. He had 2 home runs in the midweek win against Western Carolina. So that's 4 home runs this week already. First pitch, a rip into left. Multi-hit game for Billy Barrels.
He's so aggressive. You have no chance to mention all these fun stats. 2 outs, got hit 5 home runs. Trying to throw it out there, but first pitch swing again from Billy Barrels.
He doesn't wait for anyone.
Nope.
Amick at first, Blake Burke at second for Kavares Tears, who waves off the breaking ball. Logan Lunsford through 4 2/3 has done well against his volunteer offense, who hit 6 home runs last night. But it was 2 outs where Tennessee struck back in the 4th for 2 runs. It was 3 consecutive base hits.
Well, I won't let Kavar steal my thunder this go around. 391 average, 6 homers with 2 outs.
Teeing him up here on the 2-0 offering. It's fouled back. A lot of power in that bat.
He tried for number 7, that's for sure.
He's always had that power swing, but we've talked a lot of just about how he has been extremely patient. I mean, most walks on the team, most runs on the team, he gets himself in position to score.
And again, it's maturity, right? A lot of young guys make the mistake of, like, they want to show power and they try to force it in the game. When you get older, you realize the power comes from what you do off the field, in the weight room, how you eat, how you sleep. That body's going to produce power. You just got to get the barrel to it and be smooth, and that's the thing that he's figuring out as he's getting older.
Counts 3-1. Tears waits on the off speed. Ripping to right on the run. He lost his cap, but Lovich tracked the ball down. And that
Fireworks the last time Wright State and Tennessee played here in Knoxville, but I could be wrong on that.
Drew Gilbert Grand Slam game winner, nothing crazy.
Yeah, but if you look at the overall thing right now, the SEC has 10 projected teams in the field, 5 SEC host sites on top of that. That would be Texas A&M, Arkansas, Clemson, Kentucky, and South Carolina at the moment. There's a couple of notable non-conference foes that Tennessee and Missouri have played that in the field. Both teams played Illinois, who's a projected 3 seed in the Indiana State Regional. Oklahoma's a projected host site. Tennessee played earlier in the year. Texas Tech 2 seed, and Kansas State projected two seeds at the moment.
And again, the SEC pretty good for RPI numbers in terms of hosting. You see a lot of campuses across the conference hosting regionals. Tennessee in that mix for sure. That ball runs in on Trevor Austin, and he will lead off the 6th on first.
Yeah, we're going to see a curveball right here from Drew Beam that backs up a little bit, and it catches Austin. It looked like the bill of the helmet, maybe the elbow guard. Not a fun spot to see a fastball moving at you, or a curveball.
Runner on for the Tigers. Sets up Caden Peer, the freshman, in the 3-hole. Beam has been good with runners on. Peer shoots one high into right center. Inslee has been good all night, makes the play out in center, and sends Austin back to first. Talk about brand new Lindsey Nelson Stadium will look a bit different this go around. The postseason renovations, we've seen fantastic crowds in Knoxville. Set some records when LSU was here 2 weeks ago. Tennessee's been really good at home this season, 28-2.
Yeah, and you see the new renovations that's happened here at Lindsey Nelson. I think part of that play came from losing that bid to host that super regional last year.
Hernandez, deep drive into right at the wall is Tears. He's got it on the track. Felt like Hernandez just missed a home run to tie this ball game.
Yeah, another good swing. He's been on every fastball today. Here's another one that was at 92. Just barely misses a home run that would have tied this ball game up.
Now Hernandez already a base hit back in the 1st. He walked in the 4th, so that's the first time he's retired. And now 2 outs in the inning. Matt Garcia will stand in. Leadoff man was aboard for the Tigers. That's back-to-back flyouts.
Yeah, Andy, I was looking at some of these other regional projections right now. Listen to this one, the number 9 overall, Florida State Regional. Florida State, Dallas Baptist, Florida, and Florida A&M.
Wow.
I feel like that would just be a bloodbath. Florida State and Florida,
some potent teams.
Not fans of each other. Florida A&M's been in the mix of a couple of regionals in Florida the last few years too. Oof.
Florida doesn't have maybe the record people thought they would, but as that is ripped to curl the overhand short. Look out. What a snag.
His loss was a big blow to to the Missouri staff last year. They played very well early on. They lost Losey and a couple more arms, and I mean, it was just tough to overcome.
Losey will start with Dylan Dreiling for Tennessee. It'll be 5, 6, 7. Dreiling, Curley, and Inslee. We've played 5.5. Volunteers by 2 runs. Dreiling hasn't been retired yet. He walked in the second, and then it was a weird infield single that he later scored in the fourth. You can see those numbers in SEC play. 28 RBIs, tied for second just behind Christian Moore, but he has been in some clutch spots and delivered.
Yeah, he's got ice in his veins, that's for sure. He seems to be that guy in those clutch situations that you want at the plate. He's got a slow heartbeat type of guy.
2-home-run game last Saturday in the win over Kentucky. Just had 2 hits against LSU in that series, but they were both clutch. The guy that just looked ready for the SEC lights even as a freshman last year, had 24 starts his first season, and now has become an everyday outfielder. Team leader in RBIs as a whole. 15 home runs as well. That 2-2, a big-time swing. Losey, strikeout.
Losey's, he's tough on left-handers. You're going to see it right here. That 3/4 arm slot really displays a true cutter. And then he's got the ability to run this 2-seam fastball right here. It's 86, different look because it's moving back in towards the lefty, and it is tough to get a barrel to.
1 up, 1 down from Losey. First time Dreiling is retired tonight. And against Dean Curley, fresh off of a highlight gym over at short. Talk about Dreiling being ready for the lights as a freshman. Dean Curley has handled a very tough role in a mature way as just a first-year guy.
Yeah, it's been very impressive so far. I mean, you can see the numbers right there. Offensively, it's been very solid. Defensively, had some miscues a little bit early on, but as the seasons went on, started to clean it up, starting to look more and more like an everyday shortstop in the SEC.
He had 4 hits against Kentucky last weekend. He has 7 multi-hit games in SEC play. Had one back in the 4th earlier. That's right up the middle off Losey. Curley is safe, and he's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, that hurt. That's the type of line drive right there, Andy. You'll see it here on the replay in a second. It hits you and it sticks to you. It's not the ricochet where it moves away. I mean, this thing climbed up like, looks like on his ankle or his foot, and I mean, it looked like it attached to his leg for a hot second.
And Losey just couldn't locate it as well after it hit him, and Curley easily able to be aboard. That's a hot shot up the middle.
Make a play.
Curley on first. He has 6 stolen bases. Throw down from Hernandez. Give a peek at him. The freshman's back. Hunter Inslee is in. He's 1 for 2. Vital RBI double in his last at-bat in the 4th. And a big swing that time. Outings last season as a freshman. 23 strikeouts, 27 innings.
Yeah, true slider. It's got almost gyro spin, right? And the thought of that is it almost backs up a little bit because it's so tight breaking, and then he mixes in like a big slurve 12-6 curveball on top of that, and then a changeup that's got some arm side run.
Slow chopper to third. Austin, the throw to first is in time. A tough play in the hot corner to retire Inslee.
Yeah, very clean play from Austin right here. Inslee's a really good runner. You see him charge, feet keep moving, strong arm across the infield to get a very quick Hunter Inslee.
Austin has been solid over at third. And Dalton Bargo back in against his former team. He's 0 for 2 and an RBI chance for him. Again, like last time, that shift is on in a big way. 2 right fielders.
That's a heavy fastball at 91 miles an hour. Lots of arm side run down in the zone.
Bargo, first base way. That's a fair ball. Stepping right on first is Corona, inning over. So a bit of change of plans for the Tigers. No problem for Brock Lucas. 5 strikeouts have been catching batters looking with the bat on their shoulder. We talked about that. He's one of the best in the SEC at doing so. And it hasn't resulted in any runs in the column for the Tigers, but there have been runners on base that Missouri have been unable to cash in.
Yeah, a little bit of a reoccurring theme from last night as well. Good at bats, just can't seem to quite cash in when you're given those opportunities.
Again, you think back to that bases loaded situation back in the 4th. Tigers could have taken the lead with 2 outs. Cal Stark catches Jackson Lovich in between first and second, inning over. Tight game like that, that is a massive play. Mateo Cerna will start this inning. His bat goes flying into the Tennessee dugout. We're seeing bats break in half, and now we're seeing bats flying into dugouts. Look out.
Looked like he had enough pine tar in that thing to be able to hold on to it. Fastball at 92, up in the zone. He's trying to catch up to it. The bat's trying to catch up to it. This thing went 3/4 of the way down the dugout, too.
And cleared the first row of guys up on the fence. That's going to put away Cerna. Despite all that, it was a strikeout. A bit distracted by the bat flying.
Just keeping everybody on his toes. That's all it is.
That is strikeout number 6 for Drew Beam, and a unique one. He has now 4 strikeouts looking and then 1 strikeout with bats flying. There's Lovich with 1 down and no one on. So we'll have to battle back down 1-2. It felt like Beam, you know, he's had to work out of some situations where Missouri has guys on base, but and when he's in a groove in innings like it feels like he is at the start of this one, it just feels dialed in.
Yeah, he feels about unhittable right now. Just pitch location. He's got the ball on a string. I mean, all 3 of those pitches for Lovich right there was well executed. Good luck to anybody trying to hit any of these pitches. Absolutely nasty. 81-mile-an-hour slider. No chance.
Back-to-back punch-outs for Drew Beam. He's up to 7. I mean, how important is this guy, just how consistent he's been over his career with a season for Tennessee pitching where they've dealt with some injuries. They've had to shift up so the rotation, have Stamos be an opener for Kazi, TBD on Sunday here and there. How important is it for this guy just to be himself and his consistency?
Yeah, I think he factors in just as much off the field as he does on. The work ethic is impeccable. I mean, his preparation for the game, the coaching staff talked about it, reads scouting reports and utilizes them as much as anybody in the country, knows how to take that information in, showing his guys how to do it, the work ethic in the weight room, and it pays dividends out here.
He is cruising right now. It's a fastball. Drew Culbertson down 1-2. Maybe his sharpest inning so far. Culbertson looking for his first hit. Beam shaking off a few signs. Pitch home. 3rd strikeout of the inning. He's fired up. Side retired. I'd say in his senior season, Knoxville native. A lot of pop in that bat. That was his 5th home run, but defensively, he has been fantastic. Throwing runners out, making plays like he did the 4th with bases loaded. Game on the line, basically.
Yeah, very good catch and throw guy behind the plate. I mean, plus arm from a catcher. Handles the staff very well. Like you said, there's juice in the bat, and the average is coming around. I mean, he's creeping up to 260, 18 RBIs. It's pretty good production from a guy down at the bottom of the order.
Fouls that one off. Brock Lucas still on the mound for Missouri. Home half of the 7th. 2 runs on the board, that's it. They came in the 4th inning. 3 consecutive hits from the middle of the order. Back again from Stark. The thing about Stark, too, he's just an energy guy. Feels like he's always talking in the dugout, celebrating home runs. Just a guy that is always going to turn up that volume a bit.
Yeah, always seems to be in a good mood.
Stark again, that's a laser deep right center. It's gone. Looked like it got near the top of the wall at least, around those flagpoles. Fans are saying it's gone. Stark stopped at second, and it sure looked like it might have crept out.
Yeah, it took a very funny bounce. I mean, ball's absolutely peppered in the right center gap. Really good swing, and we'll take a look on the replay. You're right, though, Andy. It didn't look like it took a bounce like it hit the top of the wall, just how it ricocheted.
Oh, no, maybe
Wow.
it did get caught up there at the top.
I don't even know how that happens.
Never seen a bounce like that.
That's awkward.
It feels like Stark got robbed of a home run there.
Like you said, I thought maybe it did hit off the top and ricocheted off a flagpole or a light pole, but
No.
spun backwards. I don't know.
Park. That ball to the backstop. Stark's going to get the 3rd. Either way, I mean, that is a loud double. Fire up this crowd here late in the ball game. Try to extend your lead.
Be curious to see what Missouri does right here. If they pull the infield in, partially pull them in. Nah, it looks like everybody's moving in. So in this situation as a hitter, infield in, you're looking for a ball that you can get up and elevate, or something you can hit hard back up the middle, and not in your dugout.
Wow. Tennessee dugout has had a bat and now maybe a 100-mile-an-hour line drive thrown into it last inning. Oh, Xander Sechrist has the ball. Look out. 1-2 count for Christian Moore. That's up and in.
So same thing in this situation. Even with 2 strikes, you got to protect. Looking for something that you can elevate, and Lucas is a very difficult guy to do that off of.
Moore goes down swinging. What a get for Brock Lucas. Strikes out one of the hottest hitters in the nation.
Yeah, really good pitch from Lucas right here. I think it was a changeup, maybe a slider outside part of the plate. Slider. Got some late movement, got Moore to chase it out of the zone.
A huge punch out to settle in. Retires Moore. That's 1 down in the inning. Stark still 90 away from extending Tennessee's lead. Infield stays in and shifted
Take
for
a
Blake
look
Burke.
at this infield shift. This is crazy.
There are 3 guys right on the line in between first and second, and then Trevor Austin in an island by himself over at third. That 0-1's oppoed away. For how hard Blake Burke hits the ball, that's got to be frightening to stand right there.
I hated this situation playing first base with a guy like Blake Burke. Because, I mean, if he lays into one, there's no getting out of the way.
No.
Like, I mean, it's catching you. You're not catching it.
Trying to keep Tennessee off the board here in the 7th. That 0-2's high.
And I love the thought from Lucas right there. 0-2, you know he's trying to get a ball up, so you run a fastball up and out of the zone to see if you can get him to chase. Sets up something down in the zone again for you.
Burke 0 for 3. Pitch home. Slow roller first base way. Scoots off the glove of Corona. The only play is at first for 1, so a run scores for Tennessee.
And it's frustrating right there for Lucas. Make a quality pitch like that, and Burke hits one off the thumbs and just hits it slow enough to where it would be very difficult to make a play at the plate. Picks up a free RBI. Increases the Tennessee lead to 3-0.
Yeah, one of those, Corona had his head over at third before the ball hit the glove.
Yeah, but even if he fielded it cleanly, I don't know if he makes the play.
Namick high in the air. Playable and play made by Hernandez. So that's going to end the inning. Tough play back behind home plate. Out number 3, Volunteer.
A guy that really played a key piece for Wake Forest last year. This is a bat that would love to be ignited for this Tiger offense.
Yeah, really good numbers at Wake Forest. College World Series experience last year. Hit 285, 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in as a sophomore. Makes his way over to Columbia. Still just trying to get it going. That's a hard hit ball. Curley had to try to get up and make a quick play. Corona's going to beat it out. That should be a single. Start this inning.
Yeah, it's 3 really good swings from Corona today. I mean, all 3 balls have been hit on the barrel. He seems locked in at the moment. At least for this part of the season compared to others. He looks like he's seeing the ball very well.
Be massive down the stretch for Missouri to get him hot. And this Tigers team fighting for a spot in Hoover. Right above that cut line at the moment. Lineup will turn back to the top. Brock Daniels looking to keep this going. Missouri now 5 hits in the ball game. They have left 5 on base tonight. They left 8 on base last night. Daniels showing bunt.
See, and that's the tough part with this offense. You know, you get behind 3-0 like this, and they don't rely on the long ball. They need to put pressure on people, and when you get down it, you can't bunt. You know, it's hard to run. It makes it difficult to play the type of offense you want to play.
Double play ball, Christian Moore.
Nice play.
What a smooth throw. They'll only get 1, but a great play from Moore to get the lead runner out.
Now batting the third baseman, number 19, Trevor Austin.
Yeah, on this replay, it's not the catch from Moore. It's the throw. Off balance, backpedaling. I mean, that's like a little dart to second base. Incredible arm strength from a guy that could run it up to 95 miles an hour as a pitcher in high school.
Yeah, that was smooth.
Oh, that's
First pitch,
dude.
Austin crushes this one into left field. It's way back at the wall and gone. Austin goes yard, his 10th of the season. And Missouri, just like that, within 1.
A guy that's been on a tear over his last 8 games, 345 average with a home run. You can add another. Got a fastball right down Broadway. Stuck it on the porch to make this game within 1.
Home run number 10 leads this Tiger crew, and that was much needed.
89-82. Slider 72-76. Curveball 72-75. Over his last 3 outings, he has averaged 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Righties hit 204, lefties hit 154 off of Kirby Cannell.
No one on base for Cannell as he takes over with 1 out here in the 7th. 2 runs home for Missouri. Trevor Austin, a 2-run homer, has brought the Tigers that much closer. Caden Peer rolls one over on 0-2. Burke, pitch to Cannell. Athletic play from Kirby, steps on the bag.
Folks at home are about to see the replay on this, and it looks like the umpires may get a replay as well.
Challenging the ruling at
Burke
first
with the
base.
catch, little arm side flip. Really good play from Cannell. Oh, he did. He drug it across the bag. So he did miss it on the initial touch, and that's what Pierce saw it. Baby, that's what makes it fun.
We got a close one here in the 8th. Another AB for Jadier Hernandez. He has hit the ball hard. Single in the first, he walked in the 4th, and then almost hit a 2-run home run his last AB in the 6th. One down the line and foul. And he's been a tough one to get out. Again, he's one of the tougher at-bats in this Missouri lineup in terms of striking out.
Yeah, he's very scrappy at the plate. I mean, just quality at bats.
Hernandez that time, though, will strike out. Cannell, electric out of the bullpen, closes down the 8th.
Expected, I don't believe.
No, Logan Lunsford did a good job against this Tennessee offense. Game plan has been a bit different from Missouri after falling 10-1 last night. They have kept pace with Tennessee and now are in a position where they can try to take a lead half inning from now in the top of the 9th. And, couldn't save a 3-run deficit all for the final 3 outs. So Trevor Austin home run. It's a bit more pressure on this Tennessee offense now in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah. Tennessee's a team that has 28 home victories on the season, which is tied for most in the country at the moment. Missouri playing their best baseball in April, and you're seeing pieces of it right now.
And it's been a scrappy effort from the Tigers here in Game 2. It'll be 4-5-6 due up this inning. Brock Lucas still on the mound, was called into action seemingly out of nowhere, and he's only allowed the 1 run. It was last inning. Blake Burke, a little dribbler down to first, gets Kavares Tear swinging. When you think back about it, that was just a simple little slow roller from Blake Burke. That's the difference right now.
Yep, that's all it was. Like I said, it was kind of fortunate he got jammed so much that Corona couldn't make the play at the plate on it.
Tears down swinging. Good start for Lucas here in the frame. He's got Dylan Dreiling up. He is 1 for 2, single, came home to score in the 4th. First pitch is fouled back. Tennessee had 6 home runs last night. They have not sent one over the wall tonight. The nation's leading home run hitting team. Tennessee has only not hit a home run in 2 games this year. It's more rare for them to not hit a home run than it is to hit 6 home runs in a game.
It's crazy.
1-1's taken outside.
Yeah, coming into this weekend, Tennessee's overall average at home, 330. 121 of their homers was here. So tip of the cap to Missouri pitching staff that has done a very, very good job against this Tennessee offense.
Yeah, and having to make the quick change from Ian Losey to Brock Lucas, almost shifting the game plan completely, that can be tough.
It's like Tim Jamison almost like knows what he's doing down there or something, huh?
Longtime coach at Missouri, Coach Tony Vitello. Tony Vitello was an assistant under Coach Jamison. Know each other very well. The 2-2 misses. Full count on the way. Tennessee adds some insurance. Missouri on the other way. They're going to put 5, 6, and 7 up to the plate.
This is Tim Jamison's 29th season at Missouri. As you highlighted, Andy, head coach from 1995 to 2016.
Fly ball shallow center, tough play. As Garcia was floating every which direction, he's got it.
Congrats to Coach, by the way. He was elected to the Missouri Intercollegiate Athletic Hall of Fame last season in 2023. Welcome home. I know there's a lot of people that are excited to see him here, back in this uniform,
Yeah.
leading this pitching staff.
Well, better person as a first-year head coach to go to with questions of leading the Missouri Tiger program. Curley's going to drop down the bunt with 2 outs, right back to Lucas, and that retires the side. So Tennessee, nothing going. The bottom of the 8th.
You got Garcia, Cerna, Lovich. If you're Tennessee, you do not want runners on with Lovich. He hits .342 with 4 jacks against lefties.
Garcia lays down the bunt. Cannell handles accordingly. You like the decision of throwing down the bunt here to start the inning?
I mean, why not? You know, it's an opportunity. Like you said, he hits 143 against lefties. It's a situation where you try to put some pressure on him. Kirby's a very good athlete. It's a good thought. Good play by Kirby.
That's 1 down. Cannell came in relief in the 8th after Trevor Austin's 2-run homer and got the final 2 outs. Has now faced 3 Tiger hitters and retired all 3. Mateo Cerna, the designated hitter, a single back in the 4th. The tying run is at the plate here in the 9th. And that is a swinging bunt up the middle. Cannell back into action. He's got it. You can't draw up a tougher defensive pitching outing out of the pen than what Cannell's had to go through, and he's handled it.
Yeah, I think he's ran a mini marathon since he's been in, having to cover swinging bunts, plays it first, handling it rather smooth appearances.
He was a major member of the Tennessee bullpen that went to Omaha last season and has been incredible here in SEC play and trying to shut the door. 1 out needed. It's Jackson Lovich. First pitch fouled off. Lovich is 1 for 3. He singled back in the 4th. 7 homers, 24 RBIs on the year. Fastball is in. Tennessee looking to lock down the series. Fans getting loud here in Knoxville. Lovich survives to see another pressure situation. The right fielder for the Tigers.
Combs is tough at bat, man, because he jumps at you. You'll see, like, once he gets the sign, he gets off the mound in a hurry, which just makes his fastball look even more explosive.
Slow roller. Combs can't secure it. Flip over, not in time. It gets away from Burt. The tying run is on first.
Yeah, and I'm curious in this situation, Andy, if he went to field that and was wondering if he was going to catch it and make the tag, or if he should catch it and go to flip, and he got caught in between on him. This is a tough situation as a pitcher because, again, sometimes that catch and tag is easier than having to stop and make that throw, and maybe he had a little bit of indecision on it. Maybe it was all the spin off that cue ball shot.
It's going to go down as an error on Aaron Combs. Defensively, it has been tough for this Tennessee bullpen. Tying run on first. Go-ahead run at the plate. It's Drew Culbertson, the freshman shortstop. No hits for Culbertson tonight. On a big spot. 0 for 4 in game 1 as well. His task is to keep this game alive. Danny Corona on deck. Breaking ball in the zone, 1-1. Pair of strikeouts for Culbertson, then a fly out to center. Fastball in there. Strike away now. It's been a battle tonight. Outside. Count even. Veteran arm and Aaron Combs trying to lock up this series. Tennessee, they've won 5 straight. Culbertson in the air to right. Tears on the move. He's got it. Tennessee takes the series. They made 6 straight consecutive in SEC play.
Yeah,